Fear of flying is rarely about airplanes. It's about control, about trust, about what happens when your feet leave the ground and your mind starts asking questions. What if something goes wrong? What if this is the flight where luck runs out? What if I'm not safe? Millions of people feel it, some quietly, some intensely, some the moment they book a ticket, others when the cabin door closes and there's no turning back. And yet, every day, those same people fly. Not because fear disappears, but because something stronger shows up. Understanding. Most flights begin the same way. Passengers settle in, seatbelts click, engines start. From the outside, it may look mechanical, even intimidating. But inside the cockpit, something very different is happening. Preparation. Pilots don't hope a flight will go well. They expect challenges. They plan for them. Weather changes, traffic builds up, systems behave differently than expected. None of this is unusual. In aviation, normal doesn't mean perfect. It means managed. One nervous passenger once said, "I'm afraid because I don't know what's happening up there." The truth is, what's happening up there is constant awareness. Every sound has a meaning. Every vibration has a range. Every decision has a backup. Fear often grows in silence. So let's break that silence. Turbulence, for example. To many passengers, it feels like danger. To pilots, it's information. Air is not empty. It moves. It flows. An aircraft isn't fighting it. It's riding it. Just like a boat doesn't fear waves, a plane doesn't fear moving air. In fact, aircraft are built to flex. Wings bend on purpose. Structures absorb forces far greater than anything experienced during a normal flight. Turbulence may feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is not danger. And every time it happens, pilots already know where it's coming from, how long it will last, and what to do if it changes. Fear also spikes during takeoff. The acceleration, the noise, the moment the ground disappears. It feels unnatural because humans weren't designed to fly, but airplanes are. Takeoff is one of the most analyzed, rehearsed, and protected phases of flight. If anything isn't right, the aircraft doesn't go. Pilots train again and again to stop safely, even at high speed. They train to handle failures that, statistically, will almost never happen. Not because they expect them, but because aviation believes in readiness, not optimism. One traveler once admitted that the scariest part of flying wasn't turbulence or noise. It was the thought, what if the pilots make a mistake? It's a fair question. Pilots are human, and aviation is built around that fact. No pilot flies alone. Every decision is cross-checked. Every action is verified. Every doubt is allowed to be spoken. Modern cockpits are designed to catch human error before it becomes a problem, because aviation learned long ago that safety doesn't come from perfection. It comes from teamwork. Some of the most inspiring aviation stories never make the news. They're the flights where something felt slightly off and a crew chose to slow down, where a question was asked, where an assumption was challenged. Passengers never noticed. They landed safely. They went on with their lives. Those quiet decisions happen every single day. Fear tells us that danger is constant. Reality tells us that safety is deliberate. Air travel is not safe because nothing ever goes wrong. It's safe because when something does, people are trained to respond calmly, methodically, and together. Even unexpected sounds have explanations. Hydraulic noises, landing gear movement, engine power changes. They're signs of systems doing exactly what they were designed to do. Fear fills the gap between sensation and understanding. And understanding shrinks fear. There's also a story rarely told from the cockpit perspective. Pilots feel responsibility deeply, not just for the aircraft, but for every person behind that cockpit door. They think about families, vacations, business trips, first flights, nervous flyers gripping armrests. They don't take that lightly. Many pilots say the same thing. I want to get home safely too. That shared goal matters. Fear of flying often comes from imagining the worst. But aviation is built on imagining the worst, so passengers don't have to. Every scenario is studied. Every outcome is planned. Every lesson is learned and shared globally. When one crew learns something, the entire industry benefits. That's why air travel keeps getting safer. Quietly, steadily, intentionally. Some people think courage means not being afraid. In aviation, courage looks different. It looks like boarding the plane anyway. It looks like trusting a system built by millions of hours of experience. It looks like choosing logic over instinct. Fear says, what if? Aviation answers, here's what we do if that happens. And often the answer is, it's already accounted for. The most powerful air travel stories aren't about fear winning. They're about fear being acknowledged and then outgrown. Every smooth landing carries thousands of invisible decisions. Every calm flight is the result of preparation you never see. And every passenger who arrives safely becomes part of a system that worked exactly as intended. If you're afraid of flying, you're not weak, you're human. But when you fly anyway, you're participating in one of the greatest examples of cooperation, discipline, and safety ever created. Next time you hear the engine spool up, remember this. They're not rushing. They're not guessing. They're doing what they've trained to do, step by step. Fear thrives in uncertainty. Aviation is built on clarity. And every time you land, you prove to yourself that fear doesn't get the final vote. Understanding does.